All righty. I hope everybody's doing good today. I thought I would make a video regarding one of my favorite topics of all time. Today, we've got TIG welding cup tier list. Okay, this is a topic that's very hotly debated amongst my peers, the people I've worked with. And you know, today I'm a sort just a light selection of TIG cups on this video. I can't cover all of them. There's all kinds of goofy ones out there. But you're going to see some really common ones here today. And if you have a differing opinion, you know, I appreciate that, but there's a 90% chance you're wrong. Okay, I'm here to settle the debate once and for all right? Okay, so here we go. We got S tier being the best and D tier being the worst. I would just put D tier as like you're never going to use that shit. S tier is your go-to. Okay, all right, so you know how it works. Here we go. We got number one. Don't know if y'all can see that too well. This is the Jumbo 15. All right, I'll pull up an image. Jumbo 15 cup TIG welding. Let's pull it up for y'all real quick. All right, looks something like that right there. My biggest issue with the 15 is it's got no taper. It's got no taper at all. All right, this is a problem. If you have, I'm trying to think of a good way to explain this, but if you've got, you need to keep argon on your damn weld, okay? That's the whole name of the game with these cups. And if I'm not mistaken, the Jumbo lens itself is around 15 to 16 sixteenths. That's why there's no taper, because it's just a straight wall. You're gonna see people out there in like school settings run this. This is way too big. That's just my professional, I don't know if you can call me professional, but that's my opinion. This is way too big right here. All right, if you use this, you are looking to get porosity in your weld. Could you do it? Absolutely. All right, but I wouldn't even mess with it. Why use this cup when there are better alternative options out there? You need a taper on the cup. You need a taper. If you use this cup, you're probably a loser. I hate to say it like that. You know, I hate to say it, but you're probably a loser. Nobody uses this shit out there. Nobody. If you use it and you like it a lot, that's cool, but you're wrong. Okay. Is it terrible? No. Could it be a lot better? Yes. So I'm gonna put this at C tier. C tier for Jumbo 15. I'm not using this a lot. Why would I use that when there are superior options out there? Okay. This next one right here, this looks like a collet body 6. Let's pull this up for y'all real quick. Shout out Google Images, right? Shout out Google Images. Okay, looks something like that. This, you know, I'm not a believer in collet bodies. Well, actually, let me take that back. Let me take that back big time. These do have a place. And it's not for alloys or steel, it's for aluminum. Okay, my very first job, TIG welding aluminum, I don't think we went over an 8 cup. It was 6. If you know, I'm always a big believer in the fact that a collet body will be better for aluminum all day, every day. Why, you may ask? Because when aluminum, most aluminum TIG welding is done with a high frequency start. Okay, obviously you're doing AC, duh. All right, if you use any type of DC TIG welding aluminum, you probably shouldn't be watching this video, but that's a different topic altogether, okay? You're gonna be using AC, and a lot of these guys are using HF start, okay? High frequency start, that's like your remote start, right? I'm gonna be honest, I think this is an 8 right here, but we'll just say, it's in the same category, okay? You're gonna be using HF start. Okay, I don't recommend a gas lens because when you use HF start, there's always that, the chance, if you will, that, you know, that arc strikes the aluminum and it shoots stuff up into the mesh screen of the gas lens, okay? So if it's an 8, I would probably put that at C tier. The 6, however, I think is superior for welding aluminum. You don't want a lot of gas with aluminum, I'd say about 15, 20 CFH. 20 might be pushing it. You might get that turbulence effect right there. But yeah, I'd say this right here, if it was steel only, I'm putting it in D tier. However, we're going to put this in B. Okay, we'll say this is an 8. We'll say it's an 8. I think the 6 does a good job at directing the gas flow. But you know, I don't know. You know what I mean? I really don't have too much of an opinion on that. All right, let's swap it up here. Let's do this one. Or yeah, I think this is a fucking 8. Forgive me. This is an 8 too. So we'll just put it right there. We got a 5. And not only that, I believe, let me pull it up for y'all. Let me pull it up real quick. I don't think the image loaded in properly. But this bad boy is what you call a stubby right here. Looks like this. Okay? As opposed to, here's your gas lens right here. This one, I believe, is a stubby. Now, people are going to argue all day that the stubbies do have their place, right? And they do. They do. However, I have heard from experienced boiler making hands that a stubby won't do you much good. I tell this to people all the time. If you can reach it with a jumbo, reach it with the jumbo. All right. The jumbo lenses don't. I have a hard time explaining this, but it's like a hose. Okay, when you neck down to these stubby lenses, you got to lower your CFH. Okay, you got to lower your CFH. If you don't, you're going to be blasting with argon. You're going. I think it's called the Ventrilli effect or something. It sucks oxygen in. All right, or it makes your puddle start flickering. The stubbies, they kind of have that issue right there, where if you slam it with argon, it's like putting a jet stream of argon on it. You don't want that. You never want that when you're TIG welding. You want a nice consistent flood. All right. Not only that, you got to neck down your collet. All right. If you're running these TIG cups, you got to neck down your collet, and that's no fun. You got to carry extra stuff with you. That's no fun. Is it terrible? No, it's not terrible. You know, am I going to be using it all the time? Probably not. Probably not. So for that reason, I'm going. Honestly, I'm gonna go D tier. Okay, there's my controversial opinion today. But I'd either be running an 8 with a stubby or the next biggest one available. I'm not going down to a 5. You know, I'm just not doing it. I'm not doing it. But if y'all want to, you can, but you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? Okay, cool. All right. Next up, we got a Jumbo 10. All right. I kind of already gave away how I feel about this particular cup right here. Okay. So we'll pull it up for y'all real quick. This guy right here. If you use the Jumbo 10, you are probably very wealthy, and you probably get a lot of women if you're a man. Okay? And this is my unbiased opinion. All right, the Jumbo 10 is the king of kings when it comes to TIG cups. You can do almost everything with it. Would I do aluminum with it? Probably not. But those y'all in an industrial setting, you ain't gonna run into a lot of aluminum. You could. I mean, there's always circumstances, right? But this guy right here will get you everywhere from the root to the cap on pipe. Fillet welds are unmatched. Okay, fillet welds are unmatched with this thing. You can just set it in there and wiggle it all day. It's like a motorcycle throttle, really. That's how I describe it. But you need very minimal effort to get a clean looking weld. On top of that, the gas coverage is superior. Okay, it's necked down to a perfect length. All right, 10, these are measured in 16ths. 10 is 5/8. You got a 5/8 orifice right here. And to me, that's perfect. It tapers down a little bit. However, it just puts a good stream on your weld. And if you're running high PSI, or not PSI, forgive me, CFH, you know, you got to turn it down a little bit, right? But that jumbo gas lens does a great job of breaking down the argon, of just diffusing it. So 10 is going S tier all day. Not only that, you can get the stick out. Your stick out can be crazy with a jumbo lens if you're in a controlled environment. And that's why you're going to see like these 5s right here. I mean, yeah, they have a purpose, you know. D is bad, but it's more like how often are you going to use these, right? This is just my opinion, right? And if you don't like it, you're wrong. But different topic all together. But definitely jumbo 10, that's a Chad cup, okay? That is one of the best cups in the game, along with, I think, the 12. The 12, I like the 10 just a little bit better, but the 12 is really a great option for those of y'all who like it. So we're just going to go ahead and lump the 12 in there. All right. Okay, next, we got this guy. This is a specialty cup right here. And there's lots of opinions about these cups right here. Some people like them. Some people hate them. I believe this is a Furic, is what they call it. Furic. They're kind of infamous for coming out. Looks like this bad boy right here. They're kind of infamous for being the gold standard and not ceramic, but in like Pyrex cups. All right. What are they good for? You got a freehand with these guys. You are not walking the cup with a glass cup. All right. You got a freehand, and that's awesome. Freehand Mafia. If you know, you know. However, you need a little bit more patience with these. And I think the biggest drawback is the price. Okay. What are they going for right now? Let's check. Okay. Look right here. Pure Cup BBW, $55. What? Hold on. Look at this. Look up. Jumbo 10 case. Jumbo 10 TIG welding cups. Let's see how much a case of these. 32. A 10 pack for you tell me. Do you like saving money? I love saving money. I'm broke. Okay. But yeah, you compare the two. I would even argue this. Depending on your diameter of the two, the jumbo is going to do just as good, if not better, than the glass cup. Now, where does the glass cup excel? That's a great question, and I'm about to answer it for you. The glass cup excels where you want to show people things, right? I'm sure we've all seen a video on YouTube of demonstrations, and the people in these demonstrations are like, well, my cup's made of glass, man. You can see through it. All right. Well, I got news for you. If you can't see the tungsten when you're welding, you're doing it wrong. Why are you looking through the cup when you're doing it? Okay. That's not to say these suck. They have a place. They really do. And they're really kind of cool. I mean, I wish I could afford one, really. So I can see it going anywhere from A or B. I really could. But I will put it on A because it does have a purpose. It's kind of badass. You're flexing with one. You know, if you have it, right? Got money. You probably got a Ferrari in the garage. You know, I don't have that problem. Okay. Anyway, next cup. Right here. Oh, a little swap right there. Right here we got the Jumbo 6. The Jumbo 6. Oh, welding cup. Forgive me. Here we go. This cute little guy. Just hanging out. The Jumbo 6. Just hanging out. Right. I've already kind of touched on why the 10 is the apex of all of this. All right. However, the 6, it has a place, but I still think it's neck down too much. Okay, if I'm running a 6, I'm going to run a standard gas lens. That's what I'm thinking. That's my thought process behind all of this. You know, you don't want that jet stream effect going. You want to run it? Cool. That's cool. Do they fit in grooves really well? Absolutely. If you got a really tight root gap, this 6 will probably fit where the 10 can't. You know, it has a purpose. You know, it's really cute too. It's a cute little guy. All right. So we'll put him. I'll put him B tier too. I don't think you're receiving the benefits of the actual jumbo lens if you're using that. You know, I don't see it. You just may as well go down to a standard lens. You're not getting the benefits of the jumbo gas lens. Okay. All right, next one. These are stubbies. I think that's a stubby. Let's see here. Stubby 6. You just wait. Just wait. All right. Right here, though, we have a king of kings, a titan, if you will. Let me look it up for y'all. This bad boy right here. Let me pull it in. The Super Cup. All right. Now you may be asking, what's wrong with the color? Why is there no color? There is no color on these guys. They look gray. Okay. It's got one review. Let's see what it says. I've been welding aluminum at 300 amps on air-cooled TIG torches. No issues. Okay. Okay, yeah. He's probably using this one right here. So I'm going to say no particular diameter to these cups. I'm just going to say the Super Cup in general. If you like this guy right here, if you like this one, Super Cup, Super Cup is just right alongside it. It's tougher. It holds more heat. And you're there for business. Okay? You ain't there to mess around. You there to max out that machine and start rolling with it. Super Cup is your super friend. All right. Any type of orifice you want. If you want an 8, you can get it in an 8. That's half an inch. You want it in a 4, a quarter of an inch, I'm sure they make it. But Super Cup is right along there with the king of kings, which is the 10 in the world of TIG welding. Okay. Just two titans hanging out up there. You know, it's like Batman and Superman when you think about it. Like mutual respect for each other and the roles that they play. All right. All right. Finally, we got 6 stubby. Look it up. Look it up for y'all. There we go. This guy right here. Y'all probably already know how I feel about the stubby lenses, okay? I don't know why you'd want this. I really don't. And there's going to be some people out there who think I'm stupid. And I might be a little stupid. But you know, if you're not going to be walking this cup, okay, it's way too small for that. So what are you going to be doing? You're going to be freehanding it. All right. If I'm freehanding, like, can somebody explain to me? And I'm very opinionated on these, as you can tell. But what can a 6 jumbo or better yet a 10 jumbo? Where can you get with this that you probably can't get with a 10 jumbo? And you're going to say, well, you can't get, you know, my buddy's car's got a spot. You're right. Okay, you're right. These are much smaller. It's kind of cool. But what can you do with the 10 that you can't do with the 6? You can stick the tungsten out extremely far if you turn the argon up. I've already expressed the fact that these do a great job of, what's the word? Diffusing the argon, right? The 6, how is it any different than the 5? It's a 16th bigger. You think a 16th is going to make that big of a difference? No. All right. That's just my opinion. So I'm putting it at D tier all day. I would rather go standard 8 than stubby 6. I've used these cups. You know what I bought the first year I started TIG welding? Let me look it up on Amazon. You're going to be like, you ain't never used these cups before. But I have, actually. You want to see what I bought my first year TIG welding? Let me find it. Find it real quick. Be patient with me. They may have taken it down because there's just so much stuff. If you go on Amazon and look up TIG welding cups kit, there is a kit out there. This guy right here. Look at this bad boy. You say you ain't used that cup before? Yeah, I have. Okay. All of these were in the kit. I've used the 15. I've used the 12. You've got the XLs. Don't get me started on the XLs. All right. Well, actually, that's a topic for a different time. If you're ever on any J-beveled heavy wall stuff, the XLs do have a place. Okay. So forgive me. I'm sorry, XL. The 12 standard, no. 10 standard, no. If I'm, I can't even keep talking about this. I'm getting heated. You know what I mean? But anyway, thank you for watching this video. If you disagree with me, just let me know. All right. All right. Thank you. You have a good day.